Hello, I'm Mark Evershed, and I want to welcome you to April 9th, our wrap-up show of the weekend's last event. Just happened to be the Masters. It was, I wonder if the guys that built that, Bobby Jones and the boys back then, had any idea that they would build a golf course that would cause so much dramatics. I mean, holy cow. There's not another single course in the world that every year, that back nine stuff's going to happen. I've always wondered, can you really actually build a golf course that you know is going to do that? And if they did, when they built it way back when, they did one heck of a job. Now, here's what my job's supposed to be. I'm supposed to give you a quick wrap-up of kind of what happened. Bubba Watson won, and Louis Oosthuizen came in second, played great. I was hoping that Louis would win because I'm supposed to show you something about a golf swing. And Louis would have been perfect because he just has a fantastic motion, and I'd be shocked if we don't hear a lot more of him and a lot more wins from him. However, the older I get, the more I'm recognizing it's not all about the golf swing. It's about getting the golf ball in the hole. And the other thing is, if you're going to keep joining me on the Monday mornings, get ready to hear stuff that you've probably never heard before, because if the normal everyday stuff was working, we'd all be pretty good by now, but obviously it's not. So here's what I want to do. Everybody saw that golf shot that Phil Mickelson made on Saturday. The 64-degree wedge on 15. Here's what I know. To this day, I still don't get it when guys like fine cigars. I don't get it. Fine art. I couldn't tell you the difference between a Rembrandt and something my daughter put together. Wine. I hear guys raving about different wines. I don't get it. I wish I did. I mean, I must be missing something because I don't get it. Bass fishing. I don't get it. But it's out there. Here's what I think, unfortunately, many golfers, or the people that watch golf, are really missing about that shot that Phil Mickelson hit. First off, I want to go about telling you somewhat how he did it. I want to break it down for you, describe it in certainly a different way than you've ever heard it before, I am sure. But then I want to get to the real truth. I want to get to the point where you can really appreciate what he did there. Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. First off, he had a 64-degree wedge. I happen to have my F2 64-degree wedge here too. Actually, I just got it, and I love it. I love it more so than a 60-degree wedge. I don't know why, but I do. He had to hit it really high. Well, to hit it really high, you have to create speed. So let's break that down. I'm going to suggest, and I'm probably not very far off, to hit the golf ball as high as he hit it, he needed to create about 70 miles an hour club head speed. There's not many everyday golfers that can't do that. Not that hard. A lot of guys can swing it 70 miles an hour to get the speed. Not that big a deal. The loft on the golf club, 64 degrees. That makes it go pretty high also at that rate of speed. The brilliance of the shot comes from maybe two or three things. Certainly, the moment that he hit it, the unbelievable pressure that he must have felt that you and I are never going to feel. So we can't even relate, but I imagine it's immense. Looking what he was looking at, the pond over the back and the people in the stands over the back. One little weeny mishit at 70 miles an hour. That golf ball could have been 3 fairways over if he mishits it. Most of us would have taken the cautious way, kind of bumped it up there or done something, or very few. You heard the commentator say that very few tour players would even attempt that. Why? Every single one of them can swing at 70 miles an hour. To hit the golf ball straight, you have to do this thing called swing on plane. Well, they're all tour players, so they can do that. So what made it so freaky that Phil Mickelson would do it and the rest of the guys wouldn't try it? Well, first off, it's because if he mishits it at all, ball's gone. Out of here. Got to do it again. Okay. Let's take a look at the way the F2 or the 64-degree wedge is made. It has a big flange on the bottom of it. Well, what that means is, if you don't catch the ball absolutely perfectly, if you don't get it absolutely perfect, if you hit it, belly it, gone. because of the flange on the bottom, if you come down what I would suggest too shallow, the club will bottom out too early, skip up, hit the ball, blade it, which we've all done. So can I suggest to you that I'm not so impressed at the swing Phil Mickelson made. What we should be looking for is how incredibly precise he had to touch that ball. And that has, in my opinion, very little to do with the swing. It has everything to do with your positioning on the golf ball. Never gets looked at. We are so enamored by the golf swing that we're missing the boat, guys. Have you ever wondered why when you practice your long game or your short game long enough, the long game goes for, for a little while, it leaves you? Well, it's because the more you attempt to make a ball go high, the more tilted backwards you get. The more tilted backwards you get, the more you move the lowest point of your golf swing backwards. So you start bouncing the club off the ground, hitting it fat, rolling the sod over it. I want to kind of akin it to this. I think if I took the Hope Diamond to all kinds of diamond cutters, and I said, guys, we need to break this up. Well, if you know anything about diamond cutting, which I don't know a whole lot, but I understand some, you have to score it in certain ways. Then all of a sudden you got to tap it so it breaks properly. I'll guarantee you that 99.9% of the diamond cutters in the world would be afraid to make that tap because it has to be so precise. Well, what Phil's able to do better than anyone else can do is get himself in a position that the swing can hit the golf ball so precisely. So the next time you're working on your chipping and pitching, and we're going to do much more on this, I want you to know what to look for. It's your positioning on the golf ball that is so important. The swing, yeah. The swing's important, but your positioning on the golf ball. From here, I can hit it pretty darn precise. From here, I can't. If you get so wrapped up on the swing, you may not pay attention to where you are. So my advice to almost everybody watching this, because if you're watching this, you're probably a pretty big golf fan and probably a fairly good golfer. May I suggest to you that instead of continuously working on your swing, put some time into getting yourself in position to hit the golf ball correctly. So what Phil did, he had his swing, club his hands in his arms. So his swing goes up, down on the ball and up, causing the ball to go high. Okay. So this is where the golf instructor now hits a shot to show you, right? Okay. Not happening today, and I'm going to tell you why it's not happening. It's not because I can't make a ball go really high. But I think as time goes on, that shot that Phil hit is going to be recognized as one of the greatest golf shots ever hit as time goes on. And I don't really feel like doing it an injustice to prove to you that I can hit a golf ball high, because I don't know what I'd do if the grass was really, really tight and there was water just over the green and it was the Masters. So you know what? I'm going to leave this shot unhit. Let's watch Phil Mickelson do it. But always, if you're going to join us here, I always want you walking away with something that you can put into your game. And I'm going to suggest very strongly that you work on your swing, which is your club, your hands, and your arms. But then you also work on making sure that you're in position to hit a golf ball. Swing won't work from here. Swing will work from here. So I think that was one of the best golf shots ever hit. I hope you appreciate the brilliance of what he did and what he needed and the manhood that he needed to hit it. Hope you join me again next Monday. Bye now.